Hey everyone, my name's Allie and welcome back to my channel Mindful Living. If you're interested in unique recipe ideas, gardening, and finding joy in the ordinary like me, then be sure to subscribe to my channel as I upload new videos every week. Okay, let's get started with today's video. So today I am sharing the 6th video in my small space garden series, which is planting tomatoes in containers. I absolutely love tomatoes. I grow them every year and this is definitely my favorite plant in my garden. If you missed my first few videos, where I showed you guys how to plant cucumbers, green beans, arugula, lettuce, and green peppers, be sure to check those out on my channel as well. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. So this is actually my first time growing this variety of tomato. So typically I like to do a grape or cherry tomato on my balcony. Last year I did do a sunrise sauce tomato, which turned out really well and I loved those. But unfortunately, they were all picked over at the store when I went to choose my seeds. They were literally the last tomato seeds I could get, so I decided to go ahead and give them a try. Okay, so this is a determinate variety of tomato, which typically does do better in a container. And what that means is that the plant will grow to be a fixed size and the fruit will ripen in a shorter period of time. One of the most important things is making sure you are using the right size container to grow your tomatoes. So a minimum 18-inch container, and with tomatoes, the bigger the better. I'm going to be using the largest container I have to plant these today. As always, make sure you're using a high quality potting soil. I've mentioned this in my other videos. I'm using a Pro Mix vegetable and herb mix in my containers. And let's go ahead and get planting. Start by filling your container from the bottom. I always like to moisten the soil as I'm filling it. And once you get to the top, you can go ahead and give it one last little bit of water like this. Okay, and I'm just gonna go ahead and dig a hole here for my tomato plant. You want to plant your tomatoes deep into the soil. All the tiny hairs you see growing on your seedling actually have the potential to become roots. Cover the stem 2/3 to encourage more root growth in your container. My seedling was planted in a Jiffy pot, so I'm going to go ahead and pop that right into the soil. Cover around it. You want to press your plant lightly into the soil. And the next step will be adding some support for your tomato plant. Tomatoes do require a tomato cage or a trellis when growing. I like to plant mine right away so that you don't disturb the roots later on in the growing season. If you decide to add your tomato cage a little bit later, you will be pushing that down into the soil where your plant has been growing, and this can actually disrupt the roots and really impact the plant. So it's always safest to do this right away when you're transplanting. And once that's done, go ahead and give your plant some water to really set it into its new home. Keep in mind you do want to fertilize your tomato plants throughout the growing season. This will help keep them growing healthy and strong. And that's it, guys. You can go ahead and place your new plant outside in a sunny area. Tomatoes love full sun, at least 6 to 8 hours or more a day, and they thrive in temperatures from 18 to 30 degrees Celsius. But also note that tomatoes don't like it too hot. Temperatures above 35 degrees Celsius, they will have stunted growth and will not produce as much fruit. On the days here in Ontario when it gets that hot, I make sure to just move my tomato plant into the shade for the afternoon. When growing in containers, always keep in mind that you never want your soil to dry out completely. Keep the soil moist and make sure to have a regular watering schedule. On super hot days, I sometimes have to water my plants twice a day. But don't water too much, as this can cause the roots to rot and diseases to form. Check your soil every day with your finger and water when the first couple inches are dry to the touch. You can also mulch around your tomato plant to keep the soil moist for longer. Well, that's it for this video. I hope if you enjoyed it, you will give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment below if you're planting tomatoes in your garden this year. And as always, be sure to stay tuned for the next video coming in my small space garden series. Thanks for watching!